Most of us stay stuck not because we don't know what to do, but because we are afraid of choosing wrong. So we wait and we overthink, and in that waiting, we lose momentum and confidence. In this video, I'll break down how to get out of that cycle. One of the biggest parts of that cycle is falling into victimhood. You starting to believe that you're a victim of your circumstances, that you have no choice in what happens to you. And even though there might be some truth to that, the reality is that you always have a choice. The vicious cycle of this is that you feel helpless, and then in turn, you act helpless. This then creates more pain, which then simply leads to more evidence that you cannot change anything. And this might sound weird, but it actually becomes comforting to feel like a victim. It is much more easy to just say that you're a victim of your circumstances, to feel like you can't really do anything about it. This then can become an addiction because it just feels comfortable to you. You can go down this rabbit hole much more, so far that crying actually feels good. You like to cry because it releases the stress, the emotions they get out, and you kind of become addicted to this. I stayed in many bad situations in my life, thinking that I have no impact on this. Truth is though, I was blinded. I couldn't see the truth. You can in fact change your life by simply taking some choices. What's funny is that we actually become blind to the truth. We simply believe that you cannot change anything. However, if you look at your situation from the outside view, if you were to help your friend, so to speak, they told you the same situation that you are in, the answer would actually become so much more clear and simple. The horrible job that you have where you don't know what to do, the answer becomes so simple. Leave the job. Look for a new and better one that fits you much more. Same thing goes for relationships, whether it's family, friends, or a romantic relationship. Looking at it from the outside view, the things you can do and should do actually just become much more clear to you. The turning point in my life actually came when I started to ask myself much better questions, when I shifted my mindset. Simply asked myself, is it really true? Is my life going to end if I do X, Y, or Z? Is my life actually going to become better if I don't do X, Y, or Z? Truly ask yourself, what could happen? What could go wrong if you tried? And when you do this, do not do it inside of your head. Either take a pen and paper, write down those questions and actually have some structured thought process, or think out loud to yourself, or simply speak to someone else. Have some clarity and structure inside of your thought process. Whenever you go inside of your mind to think about something, you just pinball around like crazy. It's like meditation, where you will just keep losing track of your breath. This is much less likely to happen when you have a much more structured thought process through writing or talking out loud to someone. Next up is the fear of mistakes. The fearful question of what if I make a wrong choice? What if I ruin everything? While it is completely normal to have some kind of fear to make a wrong choice, this, however, leads us to make the wrong choice. Doing nothing because of being scared of doing the wrong thing actually leads you to choosing to do nothing, which is also a choice. If you don't choose to look for a new job, for a better one, you choose to stay in this one. You choose to be okay with being in this horrible job that seems to plague you, to be in that relationship that is not treating you as you would like it to. Maybe you would like to be treated better. However, if you choose to stay in that relationship, you also choose to accept the circumstances that you are in. You need to understand that doing nothing is a choice, and it's actually often the choice that hurts the most. And I can tell you from the experience of my life, 31 years old, that being afraid of making the wrong move led me to make no move. And honestly, this was the biggest mistake that I could have done and did in my life. I want to encourage you to the power of choice. You don't need to make the perfect choice. You just need to make a conscious one. Ask yourself if life is really over if you make that wrong move, or if indecision isn't actually a much worse choice. And when you finally do make a decision inside of that difficult situation, you will actually feel relieved. You will feel encouraged and strong. You've finally just done something rather than just sitting inside of that situation, thinking, wondering what you should do, which actually, if you didn't think about it or know, it has a physical impact on you. Not deciding is actually leaving your brain inside of an indecision, which then leads to stress because it's trying to figure out what to do. This in turn has physical impact inside of your body, and as you can tell, it's not good to be stressed all of the time for not deciding something. Taking a decision is gonna relieve your body and you're gonna feel much more confident because you finally have taken a step. Whether or not the outcome is perfect doesn't matter. About 8 years ago, I was inside of a job that I was despising. I wasn't feeling good about this job. I was dragging myself in there, waiting for the hours to pass. Mondays would feel dreadful. I was stuck inside of that job for such a long time, and it took me so long to finally do something about it. And when I did, it felt so good. I want to encourage you to finally just take that step. What is it that you're afraid of? Tell me in the comments down below. Why are you afraid? What are you afraid of happening? You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because you believe that you have no choice. If making that big decision feels too much to you, start small. Make some smaller decisions. Get used to actually taking some choice, some power over your life. That is how you start to change your life. Take it step by step. Slowly start increasing and taking more choices inside of your life to take back control over your life. It's not about fixing everything. It's about choosing something. And that is where your power will begin. Let me know in the comments down below, what is one choice that you need to make but we're afraid of so far? And if you want more tips on how to improve your life, subscribe, click this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.